What if I told you that everything you see, hear, and feel is an illusion? Not just a trick of light, but an illusion crafted by your own brain. A world that doesn't exist as you think it does. Everything you experience is not reality itself, but your brain's interpretation of it.
Reality for us is what we can sense with our sensory surfaces and what we can make sense of with the signals in our brain.
Your eyes don't see the world. They capture raw data, light waves hitting your retina. But that data is meaningless until your brain processes it. Colors? They don't exist outside of your mind. Red, blue, green. These are just labels your brain assigns to different wavelengths of light. In reality, the universe is colorless. The same object can look entirely different under infrared or ultraviolet light. A snake sees heat. A bee sees ultraviolet patterns on flowers. Reality changes depending on who or what is looking. Your brain is constantly lying to you, and it has to because it simply cannot process everything at once. Right now, your brain is ignoring 90% of what's around you. It filters out unnecessary details, filling in the blanks with what it expects to be there. That's why optical illusions work, because your mind assumes things based on past experiences. In an experiment, people watching a basketball game were asked to count passes between players. They were so focused on the ball, most of them didn't even notice a man in a gorilla suit walking through the scene. Think about that. If your brain can miss something that obvious, what else are you not seeing? This is where things get truly strange. Scientists discovered that when electrons pass through two slits, they behave like a wave, spreading out and interfering with themselves. But when someone observes them, they suddenly behave like particles, as if they know they're being watched. It's called the observer effect. And it suggests that reality itself changes depending on whether or not it's being observed. So, if no one is looking, does anything exist at all? If reality behaves like information, could we be living inside a simulation? Nick Bostrom, a philosopher and scientist, proposed a mind-bending idea. If civilizations eventually develop advanced simulations indistinguishable from reality, then statistically, we are more likely to be in one than in base reality. Even physics hints at this. The universe has pixels, the smallest possible units of reality, like the Planck length. It also has a speed limit, the speed of light, as if it's running on some cosmic processor with limited computing power. We like to believe we are in control, that we have free will. But what if we don't? Scientists conducted an experiment where they scanned people's brains as they made simple decisions. Shockingly, the brain showed activity several seconds before the person was even aware they had made a choice. This suggests that our decisions are made subconsciously, and our conscious mind only rationalizes them afterward, like a puppet that believes it's pulling its own strings. What if everything we see, space, time, even ourselves, is just a projection from a deeper reality? The holographic principle suggests that everything inside a black hole can be described by information on its surface. If that's true, then our entire universe might be a 3D hologram generated from a 2D layer of information. So what does this all mean? If reality is just a construct, does that make life meaningless? Or does it make it more precious? Perhaps the goal is not to discover the true reality, but to create meaning within the one we experience.